Good morning students. Today we will start the chapter 3, that is function. So students, what is a function? What is the definition of function? Function is the subunit of a program that performs a particular task. That means with the help of a function, we can do a particular task. And what is the need to use the function? That means if you will write a big program, then it is very difficult to manage that program. That means if you will find out that error, also it is very difficult for you. Similarly, if you have to change something in any particular part, then also it is very difficult. And if you want to extend for future purpose, at that time also you feel difficulties. So students, you should know that if we write a big program, then it is very difficult for us to manage the same. So the need of function is we have to break our big program into smaller units. So this smaller unit is known as function. So students, what is a function? A function is a subunit of a program that performs a particular task. And what is the need to define a function? To make easy our program. So next one is what? Types of functions. Students, remember there are basically three types of functions. One is built-in type of functions. Second one is functions predefined inside the modules. And third one is user-defined function. Let us discuss about the first category, that one is built-in type of function. So already you know these functions are available in Python, and when you use this built-in type of function, at that time we need not to import extra module to our program. For example, len function, int function, input function, chr function, ort function, and many more functions are there like type function, id function. These all functions are known as built-in functions. That means when we use all these functions in our program, then we need not to use any special statement, we need not to import any special module. Now second category is functions predefined inside the module. So students, here you have to remember some functions are there like pow function, similarly square root function, factorial functions. These functions are available in math module. So here if you will use these functions directly, at that time we will get an error message. Why? Because these functions are available in math module, so we have to import the math module. After that we have to use these functions. So there are so many modules are there like random module. Random module having random function. Similarly, random function, many other functions are available in random module. So if we want to use this random function, random function, then at that time we have to import random module in our program. Similarly, statistic module is there having the functions, that is mean function, median function, mode function, etc. Now we will discuss the third one, that one is user-defined function. So what do you mean by user-defined function? So these functions are the category that where user will define. That means these functions are predefined. These functions are already available in Python software, but here we can make our own function. So here some points we need to remember. That means what are the main parts of user defined function? There are three parts. First one is function definition part. So here we have to use def keyword. After that function name, here I am giving function name as fun1. Next parenthesis start, parenthesis close. After that we have to put colon sign. So this is that function header. So function definition part, we have to write function header. When you put colon, after that when you press enter, then you can see one special indentation. So here you need to write the statement or statements. Hello. Here single statement I have given. If you want to write multiple statements, then also you can write. There is no problem at all. So this is what? This is altogether function definition. But very first line is known as function header. So this line is known as the topmost line of the function definition is known as function header. Function header starts with keyword def, ends with colon sign. After that you can write multiple statements or single statement. So here this one is function header. Then second part is body of the function. So students, what do you mean by body of the function? These statements, when you will write some statements inside that special indentation part, then these statements are known as inside the body of the function. Third part is, this one is very important, calling statement. So if you will define a function but you will not call that function, then you will not get the output. So you must call that function to get the output. So here how will you call this function? Here this is our main part, main segment, and you know that our interpreter starts execution from the main segment. So here you need to call this function. So what is the function name? Function name is fun1. Then put parenthesis, start and close parenthesis will be there. After that you have to press enter. Then you will get your output. So what will be the output? So here this is that function definition part. Function definition, just prior information to the interpreter that what type of function user has defined, what is the name of function, whether user has passed any type of arguments, and how many statements user has written. All the prior information now is with that interpreter. After that, interpreter will start execution from calling part. So when that interpreter will execute this calling statement, now interpreter just jumps from here to this part. Now one by one statement interpreter will execute. So first statement is hello. So in our output we will get the first line, that one is hello, and second line, that one is student. So this is our output. So students, I think all of you understood that concept of function, what is a function, how many types of functions are available, how do you define one user defined function, what is the meaning of function header, what is that function body, and what is the importance of calling statement. So let us do all the things practically. ideally. So here first I want to execute some functions, that is built-in functions. So already len function is there. So here print len of any string. Here I am just defining one string, that is computer, and you know that len function is used to define, to display the total number of a string, total number of characters of a string. So here computer is one string and here total number of characters are 8. So when you use this len function, then your output will be 8. Okay. But the most important part is that when we use this len function, then here I have not imported any module. This is the main part. Similarly, input function is there, type function. Here you can see what is the data type of, suppose ABC. As you know that ABC is one string. So here you can see the data type of ABC is string. Similarly, if I will declare one variable, that is a equal to 20, now we can see that what is the memory location of a with the help of id function. Here id function, now I am going to use that id of a. So you can see the memory location of a variable. So students, here this len function, this str function, this id function, these functions are known as built-in type of function, because here just we have to use all these functions directly. There is no need to import any module. But now I am going to describe about the functions which are inside the module. So here just one function is there, factorial. So factorial of 5. When I will write that I want to display what is the factorial value of 5, so here I have used the factorial function. So now your interpreter has given this error message, that is factorial is not defined. What is the meaning of this particular line? So students, you know that factorial function is available, but that function is inside the math module. So what will you do? That you have to import that math module by writing this import statement. Now you can use the factorial function. So here when the functions are inside the module, then you have to use math module name, then factorial function. Now math dot factorial function, and here you have to write the number. Now you can see the factorial value of 5 is 120. So students, this is the difference between inbuilt function and function inside the module. So when you want to use the functions inside the module, at that time you have to import the module name. After that you have to use the module name, then dot operator you have to use, then you have to write the function name. So in this way you can use the functions inside the module, for like your random function, randint function, square root function, all the function. Here you can just use the square root function. So square root of math dot square root of 16. Now you can see that one is 4.0. So students, in this way we can use the functions which are available in the module. Now we will discuss the third one, that is user defined function. So to describe the user defined function, I have to just open a new file, and here I want to write the concept of user defined function. So here students, how will you define your own function? That is with the help of def keyword. After def keyword, you have to write the function name. So function name is fun1, and here parenthesis start and close. After that you have to put one colon sign. Then whatever you want to do. So here I want to print one simple statement, that is print hello students. So this is what, this is my function header. and this particular printing statement I have written inside the body of the function. After that I have to come to the regular indentation, that means this is my main segment part, and here I need to call this function. So how will you call this function? So already I have told that with the help of function name you have to call your function. After writing the code, then you have to save your program. Just example.py. After saving your program, then you have to run your program. So here run module option is there, the shortcut key is F5. So here you just run your program. So what that output is, that is hello students. So I think now all of you clear your doubts about that how do you define one function, how do you write one function header, and how will you write the statements inside the body of the function, and how will you call your function. So in this way you can define your user defined function and you can call the same function. Now there are some types of functions are there. That means here if my function having return type. See students, if your function returns a value, so if function, just I am writing the simple statement, if function returns a value. So basically there are two types of function. One is void function and another one is non-void function. So if your function returns a value, then that one is known as non-void function. Non-void function. So when a function returns a value, that is known as non-void function. So let us just discuss with the help of one example. Suppose here I want to define one function. Def function name is some number. Here I am writing some number, and two arguments I want to receive the values. So here x and y, two arguments I have defined. After that result equal to x plus y. I want to return the value of res variable. So see students, here some number is one argumented function. There are two arguments and I have just added the values of x and y and stored inside the result variable. Now I want to return the result, the variable of result, that is result variable, to its calling part. So here my function returns a value. So the category is non-void function. This type of function is known as non-void function. Why? Because this function returns a value. So now you just call this function. Main segment start here. So here how do you call your function? If your function returns a value, at that time you have to receive the value to a variable. For example, here result variable I have defined and I have to just write the calling part. So how I will write? My function name is some number, and here positively you have to pass two values or two variables or expressions also. So here suppose 50 and 30. Two values I have defined here. So here 50 is assigned to this variable x, 30 is assigned to this variable y. Then your res variable contains 50 plus 30, that means 80. Now returns 80. So your function returns 80 to result variable. So what is the output of your program? If you want to print result. Then let us check the output, students. Your result variable contain 80 according to this calling statement. So you can see the output. Here the output is 80. So students, in this way we can define one non-void function. And what is about your void function? If your function does not have a return statement, then that one is known as void function. So which one is the example of void function? So here you can see that fun1 is a function having no return type. Is that clear? Fun1 is a function having no return type. So this fun1 function is known as void function because it does not return any value. So there are two types of function. One is void function and another one is non-void function. Void function which does not return any value, non-void function which is having a return statement. So with this, students, now I am closing this session. So here I hope all of you understood the concept. Thank you, students.